Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo, people. Listen, people, hit that like
You're
button.
only
We got a
need for that
brilliant
laugh.
show for you. You know why I'm laughing? Because I told you so. I didn't come here to tell you I told you so. Shithousery is real in the Champions League. It's real, people. It's not a joke.
You don't need to tell me, bro. I was not coming out
Shithousery
here and
in the
screaming.
Champions
I
League
was
is real.
Mo, you don't need to tell me I was not screaming 4-0, 5-0, bro. I was not
Listen,
screaming
people.
4-5-0. But
Listen, people. Hit that like button when you join in. If you're watching this in the replay, we're joining by a brilliant people. I want a lot of people here wanted to have you that say, I want to thank in particular Brandon, who is sick, ill, sad, who has a meeting in the morning and joined, right? Bilal was working in the morning, Dawood, Giuseppe for not ducking, for showing to have their say with me here to discuss the game, to know what actually happened in this Arsenal game. Kids playing, Arsenal kids playing, Mikel Arteta naive. And I was listening to Terry, wallah, big up Terry. Max Allegri, for people that don't know, used to say sometimes in football you have to let go. Let go of the ball. Let the opposition have a little bit of the ball so you can counter them. But they didn't listen. Mikel Arteta thought this is the Premier League. This is different. You might go through. Arsenal might be favorites. But this is the Champions League. We did it. Inter did it yesterday. We gave Atletico this experience. I'm not saying our club is better than yours, but this is the experience that everyone kept telling Arsenal fans. You'll need a little bit of experience in the Champions League to win it. You live, you learn, you go through, you learn the second round. Pep Guardiola, 7 years learning in the Champions League until he won it. Listen, people. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. 200 people right off the bat joining. And of course, we're joining by Mike Death. Big up, Mike. Look at the smile on this guy. Liverpool fan. A night that was going to be shit for Liverpool. Brilliant for Arsenal. Liverpool were going to lose points. But we're here. We're here to talk about the games. Listen, people. I'm going to start actually with Sad. Sad. Quickly. You look so sad, bro. Cheer up, bro. Oh my God! Look
yeah,
at the look on
please.
his face. I
Can we
told you
just,
off camera. I'm not telling
bro?
you just
Why
on the
why
live,
you
bro.
making me?
Cheer up, bro.
Listen, man, it's gut wrenching, man. It's gut wrenching. I can't lie, man. It's gut wrenching. Listen, especially to the last kick of the game, bro, to lose like that, bro. It is honestly the worst thing to happen. But bro, listen, we didn't deserve to win today. It's just that simple. We did not deserve to win. Like you said, we could have given away some possession to try and
Lure them out.
counter them.
Lure them out.
Yes, to lure them out of that low block. But bro, low blocks in the Champions League are different. And listen, I knew this was going to be a difficult game. I knew that we were going to go there. It wasn't going to be easy. It's not going to be something that you just slide through and then it's 2-3-0 and then bang and you hop out the stadium all happy and cheerful and that. No, it's not going to happen like that, bro. Because Champions League is not that easy, and especially in the knockout stages, these teams got through their groups for a reason. No matter how weak you may think the team is, they got through their group.
They're shit, bro.
For a reason.
Porto are bad, bro.
No, but defensively they were very good today.
Yeah, but the rest of the team, bro, they're bad. But anyway, listen, it's tough. Brandon, Mikel Arteta, naive. Can I call him naive in this game? Can I call him like a little bit amateur, novice, naive?
I don't know. I think this is the Arsenal that we've been seeing the majority of the season, Mo. To be honest with you, it's not just Champions League. We've been seeing this in the Premier League at early stages of the season. If you play a low block against Arsenal, we struggle to break teams down. It's as simple as that. Yeah, we struggled to break teams down in the Premier League. This isn't nothing new, right? The issue is we have one way of playing. And if it don't work, that's it. We're stuffed. We got nothing. Look at the bench tonight. He made one substitution. Yeah. Why is he not making more than one substitution? Why are we not bringing on Eddie Nketiah? Why are we not bringing on Reece Nelson? You signed him up to new contracts. Did he not? Do you know what I mean? It just shows he don't trust in the players that he has. So for me, it's Mikel Arteta and his naivety, but his naivety doesn't just come back down to today. His naivety comes back down to signing up players that are not good enough to new contracts, signing up players that are simply not good enough that he doesn't trust in to come on and change the game, right? And when you're in the Champions League, as you say, you know, you need somebody who can change a game if it's not going your way. We had absolutely nothing today. We had 70% possession, did absolutely nothing with it. 0 shots on target. I don't remember us mustering up a decent chance, apart from, you know, a few set pieces, which was basically giving us fouls every single time. And we basically we got what we deserved. You know, Porto had a great opportunity in the first half, should have scored from that. I don't know how the hell he missed that. And they created the better chances, even though they didn't really do much else apart from defend. And it just goes to show, you know, Champions League is a different ball game altogether. But this isn't nothing new. This is Arsenal in Europe. This is what Arsenal has been for years in Europe. And it's not going to change all of a sudden because we're fighting for a league title when we've got a squad that is basically full of kids that have never, I don't think half of these players have even been in the Champions League, let alone won a Champions League or anything like that. We really lack experience. And then you bring the one player on who does have a bit of experience, who normally can control a midfield, and he was shocking as well. You know, absolutely none of them players today come off that pitch with any credit whatsoever. I'm seeing simple, basic things not being done by these players today, like straightforward passes. Like nobody could make a pass properly today. Nobody could control a football today. Martinelli and Saka were awful. Trossard was probably the best of the bad bunch, but even he was shocking as well. Odegaard missing. You know, Declan Rice picking up a stupid yellow card in the first minute, like he's got the bozo gene, and then all of a sudden he passed the bozo gene on to everybody else. And there's not a single Arsenal player that had a good game today. Not a single one. The only good thing about this is we got a second leg, and it is at the Emirates. However, I'm worried because, as I've just said, this is Arsenal against teams that play low block. We struggle to break them down. Porto have got a 1-goal lead. All they have to do is come to the Emirates, park the bus, and say, look, you've got to break us down now. And I guarantee you we will struggle. Even with Jesus and potentially Thomas Partey back, we will struggle to break them down if they do that, because this is what Arsenal is under Mikel Arteta. We struggle against low block teams. Porto come to the Emirates and they park 10 men behind the bus like I expect them to. Don't expect it to be an easy game. Don't expect it to be, you know, Arsenal go through by, you know, scoring 2 goals or anything like that, because it won't be. It may end up having to be the long game. We may end up having to go to extra time, possibly penalties against, let's just say, one of the worst teams in the Champions League, one of the worst teams left in the Champions League. They're third in their league. They're not a great side at all. You know, we got nullified today by a 41-year-old Pepe. Pepe is old enough to be Martinelli's dad. Yeah? That's how ridiculous this is. But this is Arsenal in Europe. Like I say, this is Arsenal all over. And I've said it, and I'll say it again. If we do not make it past Porto in the Champions League, sack Mikel Arteta.
No,
Simple as.
Come on.
No. I ain't pissing around, man. No, Mo.
You live, you learn. It's your first year in the Champions League. You're very hard.
Mo, we are not doing this, my friend. He's had enough time. Hang on. He's had enough time. He's had enough money. We cannot just
in the knockout stages, Brendan.
We cannot.
The game in the knockout
We
stages,
can.
Brendan.
I don't care. We cannot.
No,
we
you
can.
have to care.
Mo, look at Mikel Arteta's European record since he's been at Arsenal. We've gone out to Olympiacos, Sporting Lisbon, yeah, Villarreal against our former manager, and if we go out to Porto as well, yeah, that is not good enough. I don't care how long he's had in the job and whether this is his first team that he's had in the knockout stages of the Champions League. At the end of the day, Arsenal should expect to get past Porto, right? We're one of the favourites behind Real Madrid and Manchester City to win this competition.
Bro, you weren't.
We can't beat Porto.
You weren't. Brandon,
how do you expect us to go to the Bernabeu and win at the Bernabeu? Yeah, let's be real now, right? 600 odd million pounds spent, plenty of time in the job. As I've just pointed out, one substitution made today, right? We have nothing on the bench that he trusts or believes in to come on and change the game. Why am I going to give this guy more time if he can't get past Porto? Come on, be real now.
Man City have sacked Pep Guardiola. Come on, no.
Sack Pep Guardiola for what?
For not winning the Champions League in 6 years?
I'm not even saying win the Champions League. Get past fucking Porto.
He got knocked out of Monaco, bro.
I don't care. Monaco. Yeah, look at that Monaco. Right, okay, cool. Let's have a look at that Monaco team then. Let's have a look at that Monaco team that knocked Man City out. They had Mendy, who Man City went on to sign. They had Bernardo Silva. They had Mbappe. They had Falcao.
They weren't superstars, Brandon.
They might have not been superstars, but that is a better side than this Porto side. So don't give me that crap about, should he have been sacked because they got knocked out to Monaco. That Monaco side is miles better than this Porto side. We should not be going out to this Porto side. If we do not win at the Emirates and go through, sack Mikel Arteta. Simple as.
Yeah, what are you guys saying about this?
I think that's a complete overreaction. Let's just relax for a second, because I can understand that you're going to be upset. I can understand you're going to be upset.
Agreeing, bro.
Bro, agreeing is crazy, bro. Sacking him is crazy. Because
why is it crazy, sir? How much more longer?
Okay. So let's say we come out of the Champions League. And then we win the Premier League. Then what? Do you still want him sacked because of his European record? Okay, cool. Let's be real now, Sad. Right? The chances of us winning the Premier League. I heard Mo on the straight facts, breaking it down earlier, right? Liverpool have just won tonight. They are 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League ahead of Manchester City, yeah? 5 points clear of us, right? We've got to go to the Etihad. They've got to play City at Anfield, which they're favourites to do. At this moment in time, I cannot see Arsenal making up a 5 point gap on Liverpool, all right? Then you've got Manchester City there, who have won the Premier League the last 3 seasons in a row, the current treble winners as well, who have the know-how. Both of these teams have know-how. Plus, Liverpool have got the extra added incentive there of Klopp's leaving at the end of the season, right? So they're going to want to do it for him. We still have inexperienced players. And again, that showed tonight. This is an inexperienced team in the Champions League, right, that couldn't handle the pressurised fixture away from home at Porto in a hostile atmosphere. What makes you think that we are winning this Premier League, my friend?
It's not even the toughest team in the Champions League at all. There's like a lot. I told people, to be honest with you, I'm not going to say that. I said going to Porto, going to Atletico Madrid is like 10 levels higher than this. Like you go to Atletico Madrid, it's like 10 levels. You jump. I said if Arsenal looking good and everything, it's about managing the games. It's about the experience, to be honest. Let other people as well, Brandon, Bilal, Dawood. I want to hear what you guys think. Dawood, a little bit of positivity. No, he looks so glum as well. Like he looks so sad.
No.
Bro, Dawood's sad is breaking my heart.
No, it's not that. Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. All right. This is my first live stream back in 2024, and starting off on a loss. That's why I avoid these live streams.
At least you're not ducking, because people said you are ducking the losses and stuff. I know that you had issues and.
No. Do you know what it is? I know how Brendan is. I know how reactionary he is. We win five games in a row, 1 loss, sack the manager, sack the owners. Let's start from the beginning again. I think I just saw a stat that.
Whoa. Let me stop you there, Dale, right? Not start from the beginning again. I've maintained this point the entire way through, right? The process is finished. We have a decent squad. Mikel Arteta is not a good enough manager. And yes, we still need one or two pieces, right, in order to maybe win something. But I don't believe that Mikel Arteta is the guy to get us over the line.
Okay.
It's not a case of rip it up and start again, right?
Okay, that's
It's
a fair,
about getting
that's a
another
fair
manager.
point. That's a fair point. Yeah. So you're basically saying that Arteta is a stepping stone manager for the next manager to take us to the next level. All right, I understand that. When it comes to competition with Arteta, it is kind of disgraceful of how we go out early in every competition. I understand that point of view, especially since he's come. He's been only into one final, and that's the first FA Cup final that COVID year. I understand in cup competition, he does need to improve. But going back to the game, I'm not making any excuses. But I saw a crazy stat that there was 36 fouls committed. The ball was in play for 50 minutes out of the 94 minutes. That was the biggest shousery from Porto I've ever seen in my life. The way that any little touch, they were on the floor, and the referee was whistle happy. Where
It's Europe.
Both sides. Both sides.
That's
Both
also
sides.
Europe.
Both
no,
sides.
but our players won't fall on the floor like Porto
sides.
players. Porto were trying to play on the transition, trying to play on the counter attack. They knew that our back four weren't exposed, and we didn't play a high line where they'll get past the midfield and then they'll just look for a foul. They're not even
That's
good with
Europe.
set pieces. They're not
That's
good. They're not
Champions
good in the
League.
final third. The amount of times that right winger, I forgot his name, that begins with C.
Dowd,
Decision making in the final third is absolutely atrocious. Their team.
Dowd, sorry.
You to mention the referee
sorry,
first thing. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you, right? But you just said how long was the ball in play for 95 minutes?
50 minutes out of 94 minutes.
50 minutes, right? So while the ball was in play for 50 minutes, why is it that it wasn't until the 95th minute we decided to start shooting them? You got 50 minutes of the ball being in play. Yeah? 50 minutes of the ball being in play. Why did we do nothing in them 50 minutes?
The reason why I'm not overreacting with this defeat is because I see how poor they are when it comes to hitting us on the counter attack, and how poor they are when it comes to Raya. Every time they were in the box, they weren't a threat. Set pieces, they're not a threat. I think at the Emirates, I expect us to not to win the game, to absolutely smash them at the Emirates.
Be careful again.
No. I'm being serious. At the Emirates, they haven't got that home advantage, Porto. They haven't got that time to be wasted. At the Emirates, if you even look at it, every time the ball went out and we tried to take quick throwing, the ball boys will keep the ball and wouldn't even let us. That's not happening at the Emirates.
Arteta threw the
They're
ball.
not going to be able to slow the game down as much as they did at Porto, at the Emirates.
Yes,
I'm being serious, Mo.
Yes, they will.
This season,
Bro, they will, bro.
Yes, they
Say
will.
that again?
Newcastle did it in the league last year.
Bro, don't be naive, Dawood.
I'm not being
This
naive.
is Champions League. They will do the same.
They're gonna take the piss at home. At home, they are gonna take the piss. Like
You
at
thought-
home,
you
they're
thought
literally
today was
gonna
Fenway
sit.
Fair.
They're gonna sit there in an ultra low block. Today was a low block. They're gonna sit in an ultra low block. They'll be like, okay, we're 1-0 up. So
And the only
come at
positive.
us. What do you want to do?
Okay, but the only positive
Like,
is, Brendan
bro,
said that, he's still not confident of Jesus coming back, Partey coming back, Tomiyasu coming back, Timber coming back. These players that I've just named walk into our team right now. These players, Gabbage is in the Champions League. We know he hasn't been scoring as much in the Premier League, but in the Champions League, he's been scoring. He's been cooking in the Champions League, Gabbage Jesus. That might be his competition this season. At left, Jakub Kiwior, going forward, is a liability. He can't attack going forward. So if we get a Timber, or Zinchenko, back at the Emirates, we get Gabbages up front. We've got Partey in midfield. That is a massive, massive upgrade on our team, especially playing at home against Porto, who are not good on the transition. I'm not being reactionary with this defeat. I'm so confident in the second leg that we will beat Porto.
You're right, but all them players that you just named
Yeah.
are the same players that have shown us so far this season that they cannot break down a low block. Jesus played games in the Premier League, right, where we was playing against low block and he could not break it down. Zinchenko was the same, could not break down low blocks, right? The thing is Porto nullified us so easily tonight. That's where it becomes difficult. If we'd be going into the Emirates, right, 0-0, and we didn't get that sucker punch at the end, then I'd be sitting here and going, okay, right, this is more of a winnable game because Porto have got to come out.
Don't you think
hang on. Porto have got to come out at some point, right, to try and win the game. Yeah,
not necessarily.
Now they've got a 1-goal lead. They can sit back and do what they like, and we've got to
Brendan,
take the initiative.
It might be better for us that we lost because they know that we have to win at the Emirates.
No. You can't say
Have
we never been in the Champions League? Bro, are there people who are watching in it, bro? Like, come on, Daoud, you're how old are you, bro? I know 25. You've been in the. I know you've been in the champ. You've seen the Champions League, bro. You've seen your Champions League. You know. No. But all I'm saying is, this is like the worst position to be in.
Why?
Any of these two right here, Mo and Mike Das, will tell you this is the worst position to be in because you don't want to go to that game having them on a 1-0 advantage and then they just sit back.
Yeah, Diego Simeone after the game said, "I'm very disappointed losing 1-0 to Inter at the San Siro." He said, 1-0 is dangerous. 1 goal will turn it around. Anyway, listen, Dawood, you think what you think.
I'm positive. It's crazy, Mo, that being positive and knowing that your team can do something is more controversial now than being negative and thinking
I would put my money on Arsenal. Let's be honest. I put my money on Arsenal, but I understand where Brandon and Saad are coming from. This was naive.
Well, you understand that we have to sack the manager if we lose against Porto?
No. I understand the furious. I understand how angry they are. But Porto shouldn't be the one. Okay, if you guys are serious about Porto, shouldn't be the test. Porto should be the easy one.
Let me just reiterate real quick as well. I didn't say sack the manager based off of tonight's loss. I'm saying sack the manager if we go out of the Champions League to Porto. Yeah,
and that is a very hot take. Like, not many Arsenal fans will agree with that because how are we expecting to win? No, you didn't say to win the Champions League, but if how many teams have rolled through teams to win the Champions League? How many? Name me a time. Man City, when they won it last season.
No one's saying you had to roll through them. They're just saying that you should have registered or shot on target with 70% of possession.
You have those kind of games. You have those kind of games.
I mean, but Dave, I'll say it to you again, right? Because I've already said this, right? And obviously you weren't listening at the time. How many times are we going to continue to go out to teams that we should be beating? Olympiacos, Villarreal, Sporting Lisbon, Porto potentially.
When we do go out, we'll have that conversation. We haven't gone out yet.
But this is what I'm saying. That's why I said if we go out, sack the manager. Because again, how many times are we going to keep doing this? How do you expect to win a competition like the Champions League if you can't even get past Porto? Come on, let's be real now.
But Brendan,
Porto is just. Sorry, Mike. Porto is just a start, bro. Because, bro, if you think Porto is bad, what do you think Mo's Inter's gonna do, bro? These men are gonna be sitting there. They're gonna be like, okay. Bastoni's gonna be like, come, give me the ball. I'm gonna play past.
You aren't even like I'm
gonna go forward.
So you want to know that low blocks play Atletico Madrid if they go through against Inter. Play Inter. We sat against Man City and we hit them on the counter. We're better than Porto. Real Madrid can defend and hit you on the counter attack. There's a lot of teams. That's
we played Atleti. If you guys remember, we played Atleti in the Europa League semi-final. We dominated the game. We created chance after chance, but we still went out. Because of the situation we were in, and it could be the same thing, against Porto. So I'm worried. And the problem with Arsenal, right? You look at the way we played today, and I always feel like if the team stops Martin Odegaard from really creating and dominating the game for us, right? What happens to our team? We struggle all round, right? And today, Odegaard nullified, Saka nullified, Martinelli nullified. Like, it's very hard. Havertz, again, for me, kind of clueless. I'm not really sure what's he there for?
I told you guys, Kai Havertz in games like this, he's not great, people. I don't know why people still defend him, bro.
In the Champions League, it wasn't
copium,
Let me do a couple of these super chats. Faisal Ali saying this team needs party. Without him, we're shit. I disagree with you.
Arsenal fans need to stop this as well, by the way. Arsenal, and even though did it, we need to stop the hypothetical stuff as well. Yeah. I'm guilty of it as well. I'm gonna stop because a lot of these players, the Zinchenko's, the Partys, the Jesus, the Tomiyasus, they've shown they're not reliable when we really need them. Right?
Wanna,
either they're injured or something happens to them.
This super chat, 0 shots on target. The team was playing for a draw. When I was watching the game, it felt like the Inter Atletico game without, to be honest, the quality. What I mean is that the majority of Arsenal players didn't want to take chances. They just didn't. They just wanted to keep the ball. They were happy to go back to David Raya and instead of taking a chance. They were happy. And it looked like they were looking for set pieces as well, Arsenal. You had 9 corners. And Porto are good. They aren't in the Premier League. They looked all right in set pieces. Faisal, I disagree with you in a sense that it's a 0 shots on target, but it looks like Mikel Arteta was like, I'm going to keep the ball for the whole time.
Yeah.
Starboy Saka saying, calm down, guys. Second leg is still there. He's with the wood here. Second leg is still there. He's coming. He's like, Mo's happy to. I'm not happy. I said I don't care. I want Arsenal out, yes, because they're a tough team to beat. I would like to get Porto in the second half. I don't want to play Arsenal. Arsenal are a good team. But it's just about people knowing the reality. And Martin here, a member for 4 months, which teams are good in low blocks? Even City struggle. Liverpool didn't struggle today against the low block in the second half. They blew them away. Martin, they did blow them away, to be honest.
Without our best players. But just very, very quickly, I mean, unfortunately, Brendan had to leave, and for good reason. But the thing that I disagree with is that if you're Arteta out, I think that's fine. But I don't think that going out to Porto would be the reason, right? You haven't been in the Champions League for X amount of time, and you're not one of the favorites, like by any standard.
The bookies fooled them.
Yeah, listen. Vegas odds are Vegas odds. Like honestly, whatever the world is betting on, bet against it. You know what I mean? But ultimately, this wouldn't be the reason. The reason would be that you spent 800 million and you haven't won the league, and you've really only competed for it once, and you could potentially not compete for it this year. You also could compete for it this year. I don't agree with getting knocked out to Porto being the nail in the coffin, considering the fact that you're just finally getting back into the Champions League, and like that's just not justified reason. You know what I mean? But I think that like ultimately today. Listen, unfortunately, I didn't watch the first half because Liverpool were playing. But for the 45 minutes that I did watch, what I saw was just a combination. It was a combination of complacency. And I feel like when Arsenal are at their best is in their press, right? Like when I feel like they're most dangerous is when they're pressing the opposition team and they're forcing mistakes. And today I didn't see any pressing because I didn't see an opportunity for any pressing, and I didn't see an opportunity for any mistakes. And ultimately, if you go back and you rewatch the sequence of plays before the goal, Declan Rice tries to clear first. I think it was 3 straight just hoof balls by Arsenal's back line, one by Declan Rice, one by Jorginho, all of which leading to a Porto player, leading to a counterattack. And then ultimately the guy scores a brilliant goal, and maybe they could have had 1 or 2 more. I mean, the one shot hit the post, but like I'm gonna have to agree with this idea that they were holding the ball. They looked very complacent. They reminded me of Liverpool of last season, 70% possession and not a single real opportunity other than I think it was Gabriel's header off the set piece. But then again, that's kind of iffy. You know what I mean? Like I don't guarantee my defender to put the shot on target, but I didn't see them pressing. And I feel like that's when I see Arsenal at their best. Like against Burnley, they were pressing. Against Liverpool, they were pressing. Against West Ham, they were pressing. They were forcing mistakes. And because you have the ball, you can't really force a mistake, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Listen, people, 700 people here. We aren't even in 300 likes. Come on, people. Hit the like button, people. The like button is underneath your live chat. I know you're enjoying the show. Hit the like button underneath your live chat. Nabil here is saying before I get Giuseppe's take, we were nervous and timid. Only Kai, Trossard, Rea were normal. This is why people say we have no world-class players. Have to prove ourselves in the second leg. Forget world-class, not world-class.
Not Kai rubbish. That's what you
Kai was
he just did a normal level, which is just like, yeah.
What are you saying, Giuseppe, about the game, Malaka? How did you see the game? Did you think you were going to score?
Yeah, oh mate, listen. First of all, I want to say I deserve this, and a lot of Arsenal fans actually deserve this result.
Were you one of them?
I was the chess guys, yeah, man. I was one of the chess guys, and do you know what? I think we needed this to sort of like humble us a little bit. And I'll be honest, from what I watched today, first things first, I don't want to hear, because I know Brandon's gone, but he can hold this as well. I don't want to hear no more Arsenal fans say that we can win this Champions League, because we can't. we can't win the Champions League. From what I see tonight, there's no way we can win the Champions League. And it ain't nothing to do with ability. It's to do with experience. It's to do with, bro, listen, you can shake your head. You said that a loss was a good result for us. I don't get that. A loss can never be a good result, bro. And the way we lost, listen, it might be a bit of a sucker punch at the end. But at the end of the day, if you look at the chances in the game, they should have scored a sitter, should have scored a blatant goal. So it evened itself out. And we didn't create nothing. Arteta was naive. I think, say the subs, I'm not too on that because, listen, the same people that are saying bring on Eddie Nketiah, bring on Nelson are the same guys that are saying they don't want to see Eddie Nketiah and Nelson on the pitch for the team. So don't have that energy. And then when they don't come on, you're having energy. I think Jesus was a massive loss for the game because Champions League, he does it. I think Zinchenko was a massive loss for this game because when people play a low block, you need Zinchenko in the team because our fullbacks just had no impact for me at all. All Ben White's impact was the corners on the goalie. That's the only impact he had, like, attackingly. We got another leg. That is the only saving grace. They can come and they can get us through, and then we won't be talking about this loss. We'll be saying on to the next game. You showed it. All we got to do is win at the Emirates. That's the good thing. They won 1-0. So we got to win at the Emirates. Simple as that. If you win the game, you go through. It's simple as that.
So are you saying after the result, we're not winning the Champions League? After his performance?
No. I'm just saying we were getting.
Are you saying you're winning the Champions League?
I don't think there was ever a chance of us winning the Well, there was a chance, but it wasn't.
Dawood, do you still think you're third favorites, though?
No. What I'm trying to figure out is, are they saying we've got a 0% chance of winning the Champions League?
No, not a 0% chance. I said this morning you can win it on straight facts.
No one's got 0% chance, but I'm telling you now, this team hasn't got the experience to win this competition.
But you still can win it.
You can. Anyone can win. Leicester won the league, bruv. It's a phenomenal.
So with that logic, then we can't win the Premier League then because we've got no experience of winning the Premier League.
No, but last year we had the experience of battling for the title. It's different, bro. This is the first year any of these men have played in Champions League, bro. This is the first time Arteta's managed in the Champions League. You got to look at that.
You've also never been in Europe. But the thing is,
is nowhere near Champions League.
You've also never been in Europe and competed for the title at the same time. So if anything, you've only added more pressure to your team this season. Whereas last year, you got knocked out of the Europa League early, leaving all of your undivided attention left on one competition, and now you have two. So
for me, the Premier League is a lot harder than the Champions League. I think to win the Premier League, you need to have 90 plus points. You have to be a Man City team that can go on a 15, 16 winning streak. I think in the Champions League, the positive about the Champions, you got two legs. You can make a mistake in the first leg. You can make that up in the second leg. In the Premier League, if you lose a game, if you lose 2 or 3 games, you're basically out of the title race. We have to basically win every game from now on to the end of the season to be able to win the Premier League. Champions League, you can, like today, you can lose today's first leg. Second leg, you can make up for it. So the final's always a 50-50. The team that turns up wins it. But in the Champions League, you know what you've got. Like I said earlier, because we've lost 1-0, we know what we need to do in the second leg. These players from minute one need to know that from minute one, we have to go for it because if we don't go for it, we're going to go out.
Bro, it's not about losing 1-0. It's not about that. It's about the man. It's about the reason we lost 1-0. The reason when I was watching the game, the reason we lost this game is because we're inexperienced. We were nervous.
I don't think so.
And we got rattled. We got rattled by the game plan. Them going down. Listen, the ref was shocking. I agree, but that's the game. Hey, listen, that's European football, brother. Yeah, I thought the ref was stopping the game for both sides too much.
The referee broke all records today. There's never been 36 fouls in the game.
Yeah, bro. It's not even just about the referees. Why did we not?
We play.
But the thing is, Dawood. Yeah, go on, bro. Bro. What I'm trying to say is, you say about the ref. Yes, the ref might have been thinking, but they were playing to it, and we got rattled, and we were doing it every time. We'll play into their strengths. We weren't direct at all. I was watching back.
I'll give you prime example. I'm not comparing. This is more off the pitch than on the pitch. When Liverpool lost 3-0 against Barcelona in the first leg of the semi-final, the second leg they went all out for it. If you look at, I know you guys don't see it as a big thing, but the ball boys, one major factor of the ball boys is when the ball goes out, they've got the ball straight away. You can get the ball, hit them on the transition.
There's so many
times
bro. You
Where-
can't
Let him
use the
finish. Let him
Okay,
finish.
1 second. Can I just land for a second?
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Today, the amount of times where we try to take a quick throwing, we try to take a quick corner, the ball boys will always get the ball and stop us from having we're keeping that same rhythm. Porto today was literally just stopping our rhythm from playing football. They can't do that at the Emirates. Every time the ball goes out, the ball's going to come back on the pitch as soon as possible, ASAP. Okay, that's why I say playing at the Emirates, we've got the fans behind us. We've got literally the only thing we need to do is put the ball back at the net. And for me, I put my head on the line. I'm gonna say we're gonna smash Porto. If we don't, then obviously that's all it is. But if we do, I'm so positive. We're gonna at home at the Emirates against Porto, who are absolutely poor team. They're so poor. We will be able to smash them. We will smash them. I'm being serious.
Bro, we have
You can't. Sorry, Sads. Let me land this quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go
You
ahead, bro.
cannot, bro. You cannot use a ball boy as an excuse and in the same breath say this team can win the Champions League, bro. Because if you have to use
It's a
this
big
thing
factor.
no, it's not, bro. No, I'm not taking that, bro. What little
What
team
the
are we that we're
actual
blaming
F
the
is
ball?
happening?
I don't know.
here.
I don't know what's. I'm
It's a
actually.
big factor, bro.
Ball
What-
boy.
what-
Hold on.
What are we
the
doing here,
actual
bro?
F?
Wait. If you do, okay, Dahoud, if you do a little bit of math here, right? If you're claiming that the ball was only in play for 50 minutes and Arsenal still had 70% possession, that means that you had the ball for 35 minutes and they had the ball for 15, right? And if it's a 50-minute game, in those 35 minutes, you still did jack shit. You had no shots on target. So I don't understand. Like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that Arsenal are going out. I think that a lot of the doom and gloom is just the emotional reaction of the sport, right? Like, it's 1-0 away. It is what it is. But it's really the performance that you should be more angry about than the actual result itself, if that kind of makes sense. And regardless, it still doesn't change the fact that you did nothing with the ball. You had no shots on target.
Mike, one second, Dowd, can I
known.
just land one thing,
Yeah.
please? Can I just land one thing, please? Because listen, Mike, you hit the nail on the head, bro. You hit the nail on the head. It is not the result, because let's face it, a 1-0 is we're able to turn that over at home. Of course, we are able to, but it's whether these players can put a performance out there. From what I've just seen them do at Porto away, bro, are they even able to put a performance out there? What's this going to do to their mentality?
Because
now?
another big factor that we haven't spoken about is away goals. Porto can't rely on away goals against the Emirates.
There's
if
no
they
away
said
goals.
we'll score 1 goal, Arsenal need to score 3 goals against us. That's away goals.
What is
That
happening
factor's
here?
gone now, where we can win 3-1 at home, and or we can win 2-0. We don't have to like in the back of our head think shit. If Porto score an away goal, we have to score 3 or 4 goals. So away goals are a big factor they've taken off, which is a big advantage to us. And that's that. And something I want to say is Arsenal fans might be some of the most over emotional fans I've ever seen, because
They
I remember
have to
when we
be.
lost 2 games in a
They
row.
haven't won
No,
for years. Yeah,
Can I just say
Dahoud.
one more thing? I remember when we lost 2 games in a row against Fulham and West Ham, and the Arsenal fans were saying, we're not winning the title, 0% chance, sack Arteta. We win 5 games in a row now. They're a bit more positive. We can still win the title. And it's like one loss for Arsenal
There's
fans. It's like
context.
everyone turns
Dahoud,
independent and everything's finished.
Deep rooted
Dahoud,
PTSD.
you're
All I'm
completely
saying
taken.
is wait for the second leg. If we go
Dahoud.
out against Porto, then be emotional, be reactionary. And
No,
have
you should
all
be
that
looking at
after class.
Da-
But
and
after the
Newcastle.
first leg,
Can I-
You should
let's
be looking
just
at
chill out.
Newcastle.
Can I just say one thing? Listen, there's one thing to say that people getting upset after 2 losses. Yeah, if you just say that as a blank statement, people are 2 losses in a season. They were just all of a sudden getting absolutely upset. They were thinking this and that, season's over. But there's context behind it.
Okay.
There's context to the way that we were playing throughout the season. We started the season not looking as good as last season. We weren't looking as fluid as last season. Like, we were able to get goals. Defensively, we were sound. Defensively, we were okay. But offensively, we weren't there. So that's the context behind us losing those 2 games. We were thinking at the time, bro, is there anything that we really can do in order to get these wins? You know what I mean? It could go left. But
And
listen, I
this-
think the second leg, like I said, obviously we're the home team, so we're going to be favorites in that game.
Mhm.
But all I'm saying is this is the worst position to be in. A loss is the worst position to be in. And like I said, Mike hit the nail on the head. I'm not even upset about the scoreline. I'm so upset about the performance, bro. Because the performance was the performance from that Arsenal team today was pathetic. A word to use is pathetic.
Where was Odegaard? Where was Odegaard? Please, someone tell me
That's the
where
problem,
Martin
bro.
Odegaard was that entire game. Where was he?
If
Listen,
we play like that, bro, if we play like that against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, we're out.
What about
already?
What
We're not
about
going
fucking
to this-
Newcastle? You have Newcastle at the weekend. If you play like that against Newcastle, you could easily draw that game. And now all of a sudden, your small fire has turned into a fucking flame upon your entire house. The world is burning. If you guys drop points to Newcastle, all of a sudden this becomes a huge domino effect.
You make it sound like it's only Arsenal that struggle against low block. Did you watch the Man City Brentford game? Man City had to rely on a Brentford mistake to win the game against Brentford. They hardly did anything against Brentford. It's not. You make it sound like it's only Arsenal that struggle against low block.
I'm not talking about the league,
struggle
bro.
against low block.
Arsenal are very good in the league.
The Champions League is just different, man. Forget
Still
Premier
not
League.
an
Guys,
excuse.
gotta look at the context.
Mike, I'm sorry, guys. Mike, I will not translate this into the Premier League. The Champions League performances are completely different than the league. I know that for a fact. Liverpool know that for a fact. Man City know that for a fact. In the Champions League, it's different. The teams aren't competitive with you every day. Porto watched Arsenal, had a game plan against Arsenal. They executed the defensive part of it. It's completely different than the league, right? I don't think this will translate into the same performance against Newcastle. Arsenal might go and batter Newcastle. I'm expecting them to win against Newcastle. Batter Newcastle, right? I would not take this into the league, right? The problem with me is that the Champions League, to win the Champions League, you need to progress. Arsenal shouldn't go out to Porto. They just shouldn't. It's as simple as that.
But Mo, it's not only me that's positive in second leg. Our biggest icon, our biggest legend, Henry, literally just said after the game, "Don't worry about it. We're beating them comfortably in the second leg." And he's putting his head on the line.
Which is
You're making it sound like if what I'm saying is a hot take.
What else is
that
going
we're
to
going to beat them
You
comfortably.
aren't hot. No. Anyone here of us, anyone in this chat, will actually pick Arsenal to win in the second leg. Everyone. The problem isn't that, though. The problem is in the Champions League, you will face this even harder. Next round is harder. The round after is harder. So if the aim is to go to the semi-final
or Bayern Munich, they're not going to be playing a low block like Porto and try not to play football the whole
How do you know?
Is it going to be easier? I don't think so.
But you got
against
against
Bayern Munich will want to play football against us. Will want to play expansive football because that's their style of football. They're not going to
think you are favorite. You're better against Bayern Munich.
The whole team behind the ball for 90 minutes.
So you think? So let me get this straight. You think you're better off playing Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Inter,
I didn't say Real
whatever
Madrid.
team,
Real Madrid have Real Madrid and Liverpool when it comes to European football, Champions League games, they're an anomaly. Liverpool and Real Madrid are clear of everyone when it comes to knockout competitions. Bayern Munich, if you look at the way Man City performed against Bayern Munich last season, Bayern Munich didn't even lay a glove on them. Bayern Munich against Lazio, I watched the game. They had a couple of good chances, but they're not the same Bayern Munich as what they were a few years ago. And then Bayern Munich, they might be favourites to be against us, where we are probably more underdogs against Bayern Munich, which is more to our favour, where we can actually go there and actually play.
Why are we talking? I don't want to interrupt you, but why are we talking about Bayern Munich? We played Porto today, and
they're not even going to be in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, you saw our performance today. Like, we are not a team. Every time we go away from home as well, it's been an issue. Even the first game against Lens in the Champions League, you saw what happened to our team. That way of playing football, it happens time and time again, where all of a sudden the pressure comes on, the intensity, and listen, you can see it's night and day. The games against West Ham, let's say in the league, and Burnley. I said I don't want to talk about the league, but the difference in intensity between those games and Porto, it's a different level of football completely. And these players haven't shown that they've got the minerals, to be honest, right? In these top level games, Champions League, to really do something. And you look at our attackers as well. In these big games, you need your attackers to perform. If you're not playing well, even I'm looking at Lautaro yesterday, I'm looking at Thuram for Inter, and they're performing for their teams up front. They're actually, massive threats. If we don't have these players like Martinelli who can turn up, who can't turn up away from home, or Saka who can't turn up away from home now, in the Champions League, we're gonna have big issues. So and one thing we didn't even talk about, going to the second leg, going to the second leg. What happens if Porto score first? What's going to happen to our mentality? What's going to happen to our team? Because we're all talking like it's all nice and rosy, that we're just going to rock up to the Emirates Stadium and, you know, we'll smash Porto 3-4. They're not a good team. But what happens if they score the first goal? Because I know if they score the first goal, our heads are going to go. And do we trust these players to really even turn it around in that situation? So for me, I think the only
thing, we said the same thing Arsenal versus Liverpool when Liverpool got the equaliser against us in the first half, and we said, how was Arsenal come in the second half? That took a massive hit on them in the half time because we were absolutely dominating Liverpool. Second half, we still played out the same style of football. This Arsenal team make it sound like we capitulate under pressure and we lose leads like previous seasons. When was the last time you saw an Arsenal team that was leading at halftime or leading and then they end up losing 2-1 or 3-1 and bottling the game? There hasn't been that many games this season.
What I'm trying to say,
against
bro,
West Ham and Southampton and so many games, but naming games this season that we've bottled leads or
two things. First thing, like Liverpool at home in the Premier League, like it's just not the same as the Champions League. 100%.
Why? We haven't beaten. We always get bullied by Liverpool. We lost against them 3 weeks ago in the FA Cup, where we were dominating them and they beat us 2-0. Where we had that mental block against Liverpool. Or can we beat them? Because we played against them twice previously. We drew and we lost. And we had that mental block.
At their ground. We went to their ground. We looked all right. We got the point. Okay, the FA Cup game, we didn't take our chances. And the game at the Emirates, okay, we played good and we won, deservedly so. But what I'm trying to say is the Champions League is completely different for these players. It's just a different level of pressure. Playing in the league, we play against Liverpool all the time, year in, year out. Even if we've gone for the last since Liverpool got Klopp and they've been battering Arsenal left, right, and centre, and you know, and Man City the same. We still play them year in, year out. So we're used to them, even if they're winning, right? When you go to the Champions League, we're not used to playing even against Porto. So I'm worried for this team that, number one, when we go to that second leg, that if for whatever reason, Porto obviously now they've got that 1 goal advantage. They sit back, they soak up the pressure, they score 1 goal. All of a sudden, is this team really going to find the key to unlock a team that's got a massive advantage like that? Already, they've got the massive advantage with just the 1 goal. So I don't see how, to be honest, right? Yeah, we can be positive and be like, okay, maybe, yeah, of course, we should win on paper. As Mo said, everyone on paper, you go man for man, Porto and Arsenal. Arsenal, I think maybe even 11 players for Arsenal. You pick
11 players,
over the
not
players.
even one. Not even
exactly.
one. Even only Costa, the goalkeeper. Only Costa.
Yeah, maybe, Costa, and that's it. But you see, the Champions League, it's not about.
Listen, I think we'll go. I think we'll go through. I think we'll go through against Porto. I think we'll beat them at home. But my point isn't that. My point is you keep blaming the low block. Yeah, the low block ain't the reason that we couldn't hold on to the ball and we were taking these shocking touches and we weren't creating that. There's nothing to do with that low block. We weren't doing anything. It's like the passing was shocking. The decision-making was shocking. They looked scared. They looked like, I can understand why people say it looked like we're going for the draw. And my point is, forget if we go through against Porto, great. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't play like that in the Champions League because a better team will just end you and you'll be out. Goodbye, good night. See you in the Premier League because that's all we'll have left. You can't play like that because you're saying Bayern, you want Bayern. If we play sloppy and losing the ball against Bayern like that, they'll counter us and they'll beat us, bro. Harry Kane, you're talking like our team is on the level.
No, but I'm saying, are Bayern going to play the same style of football Porto going to play against us?
Bro, but that's not the point today.
What do you mean? That is the point.
Because you didn't obviously watch the game then, bro. Because it ain't about the low block.
I watched the game, bro, man.
So them playing a low block means that when Odegaard was taking a touch, it was going wide. He was passing was short. The passing was too over the top. Too much power in the passing. We weren't connecting with the ball. That's nothing to do with the low block.
Well,
yes, the low block maybe means that we create less. We didn't have a shot on target. Not a player like Odegaard, Rice thought, let me test the keeper, bro, from outside the box. Let me just whip one. Let me just change it up. No one done that. You can't do that in the Champions League, bro. It's as simple as that. This ain't no Premier League when you're playing Burnley and stuff. And even before when we were struggling and we weren't getting goals.
No one compared them to Burnley. Porto.
No, but what I'm trying to say,
Porto are a very good team. But what I'm trying to say is, Bayern Munich will want to play football against us. Will want to have footballs running in behind, going in behind to whip crosses in. Porto didn't want to play football today. That's what I'm trying to say. Is Porto?
So do you believe, because you're using Bayern as an example, we know Bayern in bad form. So let's just say we go through against Porto and Bayern go through, or let's say we get Real Madrid. So you're so confident because you said Real Madrid.
I didn't say Real Madrid. I said Real Madrid and Liverpool are not anomaly. Them two teams. It doesn't matter what kind of form they're in. If you face against those two teams in European football, you're underdogs against them because they've got the heritage, they've got the experience of knocking everyone out.
Before Ozan Kabak is saying, "Yo, Sad, hold that in it." Oh yeah, Sad.
I've been getting slated, bro. But nah, listen, I appreciate all you guys. I know everybody's been slating me. Listen, still all love, man. It's all love, guys, man. I appreciate you guys.
Saying Emirates world-class ball boys winning us the game 4-0. Winning the game for us, yes.
Well, Bilal, what were you saying?
I can't remember. But yeah, what I was literally trying to say, because you're talking about Bayern. And like it's like you believe, right, that we're just we're so good of a team that if any team tries to press against us, tries to attack us, that we're ultimately just going to batter them because we're just.
I didn't say that.
That's the energy that I feel that you're giving me, and that's just the case.
No. What I'm trying to say is that teams that want to play football against us, that want to play expansive football, it'll give us more of a chance to win the games because Martinelli is probably our best player when it comes to being killing teams off on the transition. Saka, when he has a 1v1 against a fullback, is probably one of the best. So it's like, forget Real Madrid, Liverpool. I'm talking about Man City. If we face Man City, they're favourites, obviously. But we know how Man City play. We know how to, we've got that familiarity with Man City. If it comes to Inter Milan are a good team. You talk about Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. Lautaro Martinez missed about 5-6 chances against Atletico Madrid. He's not clinical.
About the structure of their team, the way they play.
Arnautovic missed 3 chances before he scored his 4th one. Okay, Inter Milan are not this team when it's 1 chance, 1 goal. They need 3-4 chances to score. And Mo, you know that as well. Your strikers are not clinical.
Can I just say one thing because I'm about to dip, but I listen. Big up to Mo obviously for having me. I appreciate him every time when he has me on the channel. I just want to say something before I leave. Listen, the whole Bayern Munich and stuff like this, it's very naive to say that stuff, and I'll tell you why, Dad. I'm not even trying to disrespect or anything. The reason why it's naive is because if we can't get past Porto away, where their defenders are not even to the level of you coming up against Kim Min-jae or Upamecano, as much as people want to troll Upamecano for his what he done last year against Manchester City, if you can't get past Porto's defenders, how do you think that you're gonna get past these man? And they will sit back when they have to, bro. They're not gonna be like Manchester City where they're just relentless and just pressing you and just playing with a high line, bro. I've seen Bayern Munich because I've watched a few league games because I've been watching the Bundesliga this season. I've been following Bayer Leverkusen for a bit because just trying to see how Xhaka is doing. You know what I mean? I missed the guy, but listen, I've seen Bayern Munich this season actually put on some disgusting low blocks. And with that centre-back partnership and the low blocks, it's disgusting. Listen, the Champions League is completely different. The Champions League is an unknown entity, and these teams in it are unknown entities to our squad. Yeah, Porto is an unknown entity. They came in today, the boys, and they tried to go out there. They tried to do their thing, and it failed miserably because they did bugger all, bro. Bugger all throughout the game. They literally sat there and done. I think somebody said it, and big up to them because they said it's like the horseshoe of death. Saka, Odegaard, back to Saliba, Gabriel, over to Kivior, then to Martinelli, back again. Round.
He didn't take risks.
We just go in circles. Yeah. And the thing is, I appreciate the way we've been playing recently, and I was so happy from the way we were playing recently. But this is how quickly it switches, bro. This is how quickly it turns.
The thing
so quick, bro. But
the thing I don't understand with what you said is,
lads, yeah.
Okay, see that.
I'm out, man.
The thing that I don't understand what he said is, if you can't beat Porto, you're going to beat Bayern Munich. With that logic, it's like some teams like Arsenal, perform better when they're underdogs. Perform better when the opposition is better than them. Like Man City this
But the
season.
bookies aren't making you underdogs, Dawood. That's the
Say that
problem.
again.
The bookies and everyone aren't
Forget
making you
the
underdogs.
bookies.
Yeah, but that's what people listen to. That's what
And
the
also,
players
we don't play
hear.
underdog football. We don't play underdog
Yeah,
football. Our
you
style of play
went
is
to
not underdog
Portugal
football.
trying to dominate the game from first minute, trying to stamp your authority. You're
Exactly.
not letting the opposition breathe. That's not
Okay.
underdog. I appreciate it. By the way. I appreciate it. Right?
You might disagree with me. Yeah. When Liverpool faced against Arsenal at the Emirates this year, who was the favourites in that game? Liverpool obviously favourites for that game. You can disagree,
bro. You're using the Premier League again.
I'm not using.
Listen,
I'm using the mindset.
Let me just put it like this. Let me just put it like this, bro. Let me just put it like this. Pep Guardiola, best manager in the world. Yeah, with the best team in the world, Centurions and all that. He wasn't winning the Champions League. Why? If he was winning the Premier League by 100 points, running away with it, making the Premier to a Farmers League, he only just won the Champions League. Why?
Okay.
Because it's not like the league, bro. It's not like the league. These games are different. The way
Pep
the
Guardiola
refereeing is
the
different.
Champions League final with Bayern Munich.
But bro,
Bayern Munich was always been a Champions League.
You don't get it. What I'm trying to say is you're giving us too much. You're downgrading downplaying how much experience counts in this competition. You're downplaying it. You're thinking that just because we got a good team,
I'm not downplaying it. I'm not downplaying the Champions League.
You are.
I'm not like despondent. I'm not as despondent and overreactionary with this game as you guys are. I'm saying to you is we took the L in the first game. We lost the first game. We're gonna beat them in the second game. And like Mo said, no one said that Arsenal are gonna win the second leg. Most of us can agree we will win. Arsenal should win the second leg at home against Porto. But what we're arguing about is if we lose, we're not gonna do well. We're not experienced enough. Or the reason why we're gonna lose is because we don't have experience. We're talking about ifs, and we're making an excuse already that we haven't got the experience to beat Porto. What I'm saying is these players are good enough to beat Porto at home at the Emirates. And how is that?
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You're still saying if though, bro.
Are you bored, Mike? Mike, are you bored?
I'm just listen. This isn't my party. This is the Arsenal train, and I'm the opposition. So I'm kind of letting them just hash it all out at the moment,
bro. You said if, yourself. If we win at the end, bro. Can I ask you? Did you say we were going to win today? Did you say we were going? Did you say we were going to win today?
For me, we should have. Yes.
And before the game, your prediction was us to win.
Were you surprised, Dawood? Were you surprised at how Porto set up and how
I was surprised
how your team struggled to break them, how physical they are, how shithousery football they play, the falling down, the throw-ins, the corner kicks? Were you surprised? Did you expect this to be they're gonna roll over to you? I think Dawood, to be honest with you, when I was speaking to Arsenal fans on this channel, on the Football Terrace, on other channels as well, I had a feeling that Arsenal fans thought that as long as we're good, we face Porto or Sociedad or even Inter, we're going to roll them over because it's the same as the league. It's the same as us playing West Ham. It's the same as us playing Burnley. It's the same as us playing whatever team. I had a feeling that Arsenal fans thought that this is going to be similar. My worry now, last point is, before I need to do super chats, the teams in the league might do this. The teams that are struggling for survival in the league might do this. I get you're better in the league. You're absolutely fantastic in the league. 5 games, you're probably the best team in the league over the past 5 games. But this is worrying because he went back to when it was stuck, which is what Brandon was saying, which was Assad was saying. He went back to let's not take risks. You took risks against West Ham. You took risk against Nottingham Forest. You took risk against Liverpool. He didn't want to take risks today. He didn't. He went back to no. As long as I have the ball, it's all right.
All I say is only half time. It's only half time.
It is 100%, and you should be favorites to win the second leg. No one is arguing no one is arguing this at all. I'm not gonna sit here until they have an advantage. Yes, they have a slight advantage, but you are the better team and you might smash them 4. You might smash them 5. You might. But this is different. Again, you shouldn't be naive again.
I'm not naive. I'm just saying
what it means in the future. It's about what it means. If we get past Porto, let's say we get Inter next round, go into the San Siro, away from home.
You aren't favourites.
We have it. We have it
Inter.
in us. We have it in us to put in this sort of performance where it's just can't control the ball. There's no passing. We're going back, going round 70% possession, but no chances created. We have it in us, and this is why it's not gone away. The last 5 games where a lot of Arsenal fans were a bit more happy was because the earlier performances in the season where we had these sort of performances that we had today against Porto disappeared for that last 5 games, right? But today was a reminder that this team has it in them to bring back that sort of performance when it gets a bit tough for them. So that's what I'm worried about. Even if you get past Porto, whatever, I'm worried about if we get Inter, Real Madrid, you have to go away from home, your big European night. Can these players really handle it? So far, the answer is no. The answer is no. And even in the Europa League, we've seen over the years where there was one year we went to Rennes, and we lost 3-0 away from home. Yes, second leg we won 4-0, and that's the Europa League. So now we're playing Champions League against high-level teams like Porto, who are seasoned in the Champions League. No matter what we say, right? They're not a good team. They're third in the league, blah, blah, blah. Their fans, their club is used to playing in the Champions League. Arsenal, for the past 7 years, has not been used to playing in the Champions League. And when they were playing in the Champions League for the 7 years or 9 years before that, they were getting crashed out every round of 16 anyway. So our history even isn't great. And our current performances have shown us with these players that they have it in them simply to put in these kind of stinker performances away from home. And that doesn't bode well for us, even if we get past Porto. So unless they change that, unless we see a little change in the future when we go away from home, then we can start changing our opinions. But right now, in the Champions League, it's not great, man.
Yeah, let me do this couple of super chats before we go on to Liverpool. World class Saka balled out today. He's saying, he was non-existent. A lot of them were non-existent. Odegaard, William Saliba played all right, even though he fell asleep.
Saliba had a poor game. Saliba had a poor game.
To be honest, the forward line for Porto is so weak, to be honest. Jay here is saying, to me, the manager didn't want Arsenal to play expensive football, which is exactly what we're saying, because he was thinking if Porto don't score, they would win at home. This result would happen. That's what I keep telling you, Jay. I keep telling Arsenal fans, Champions League is about moments. You might control the whole game and lose 1-0 through a corner, through some kind of like shithousery goal. They shouldn't have scored that goal. It's a shot from like 30 yards. David Raya should have been on the goal line. They shouldn't have scored, but they did. That's what happened. Yeah. Jonathan, thank you for becoming a member, Jonathan, and supporting the channel. Big up, Jonathan. Of course, from Inter worldwide, of course. JJ saying, Dawood, you always get knocked out of all the cups in February. Is that true, guys?
Well, back in the day with Wenger, listen, February was the end of the season for Arsenal. Yeah, that was the end of our season, man, all the time. Just top
Queen
4.
Nadra is saying, W is for Queen Nadra in the chat. Of course, people, thank you so much, Queen Nadra, for the support, for the super chat, for the chance. And Arsenal played poor. No, they're going to have to chase the game at home. I don't think it will be easily give up. Liverpool, great win for us, but we got robbed of clear handball. I don't think it was a handball, but Nadra, it's a fantastic win. I'm not going to take anything away from Liverpool. I counted 7 starters out from Liverpool. That's what I'm talking about. At Anfield, they are very, very good, to be honest. Thank you, Nadra, for the super chat. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate the super chat. Jay finished saying, if Arsenal go through, they will play like this again. That's the problem. I think he will want to play like this again. He will play at Inter, and he will think, I can control the ball. Safe football. But that's not going to work, by the way. It's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. But listen, I know Giuseppe has a duck, but I want to speak a little bit about Liverpool. I want to get the Arsenal guys within 10 minutes on Liverpool to chat about today. Without their first team, they won. And they won emphatically. I think they had 16 shots on target, if I'm not mistaken. Something like this. I know you guys didn't watch the game. I watched both games. I have both games on, and I was watching both. It was very good from some second-team Liverpool. Very, very good. That's what I'm talking about. If Arsenal had 7 starters out on this team, you aren't winning a game when you're full 1-0 behind. And I think that's the difference between both. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. They absolutely had a howler over first half, Liverpool. Came out of the second half, battered Luton. Battered them. Second fiddle team, Liverpool. Battered Luton. Mike, I know you were very, very uncomfortable in the first half.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't think that the first half is as bad as people say it was, and it's for one reason and one reason only, and it's Luis Diaz. That's not true, because about 4 minutes into the game, Luis Diaz flubs a one-on-one, easily could have been 1-0 up right there. And then again, about 10 minutes later, he flubs a shot from the center of the box, pretty much uncontested, puts it off target. So no, like ultimately Luton had the one opportunity in the first half. Kelleher doesn't do a great job of saving it at the near post. It hits his back foot. It goes over to the far post, and it is what it is, right? It's just a ball that lands. Joe Gomez, I can't blame him. But it is what it is. Ultimately, we still had more opportunities in the first half than Luton did, and we really should have scored at least one, which is why after the first half I wasn't freaking out. There were other people who were being a little reactionary, saying that this is going to be a draw, X, Y, Z. But I mean, from minute 50 to minute 60 was really when the entire game changed, because in those 10 minutes, all of a sudden we stopped attacking down the left side, which is what we did the whole first half. We switched to the right side. We just start getting chance after chance after chance after chance. Virgil van Dijk gets the corner, right? Then Connor Bradley, I forget the keeper's name, but he makes a brilliant save with his foot. And then, of course, a minute after Virgil scores, Cody Gakpo scores. And now all of a sudden the floodgates are open. But yes, I will agree with you. Without having 7 starters, without Nunes, without Salah, without Jota, without Trent, even though I think that I want Bradley there and I want Trent in midfield, but that's a conversation for another day.
Konate, no Trent, no
exactly.
Alisson, no Robertson.
No Curtis Jones. Well, Robertson was there for the second half. No Curtis Jones.
So, yeah, but what I mean, that's the people that started the game, literally
100%.
Second team.
Exactly. So to be down 1-0 at Anfield, the environment's dead, right? And then to come back and again, without all of those star players, just at the second half, firing, getting the crowd electric. I mean, minute 50 to 60 was electric. And then all of a sudden we score 2 goals in 2 minutes and the whole world is flipped up onside its head. Luton doesn't have a really clear-cut chance for the rest of the game. We end up winning 4-1. That game could have been 6-7-1 again without any of those star players. It is important to remember that, like, this is Luton and this is Anfield. And I believe we've only dropped, I think we only have 2 draws at Anfield all season, and we have no losses. So in theory, we've only dropped 4 points. So, you know, I understand. I don't disrate Luton. I think that they are a quality side. I don't think that they're going down this season. I think they make it tough for oppositions. But this is what I expect from Liverpool, no matter who's playing. And I think that we showed amazing fortitude, mentality, and it only gives me more confidence going forward. I'm not super confident yet, but you know, it makes Sunday feel a lot better that we were able to do that in the second half. I mean, you can never complain if you score 4 in a second half.
Who thinks that Liverpool are favorites to win the league?
Me. Let me quickly land this before I go, because I've got to go. But I think this result today makes Liverpool favourites to win the league, because what I didn't watch the match. I see obviously the stats and everything, and I looked into it a bit. And for me, this is showing that these players and this whole team are playing for Klopp, wanting to win this last league for Klopp before he leaves. And I just think you've got the players to do it. If you from when you've got all them players missing and you're going 1-0 down, and then it's not that you went 1-0 down and then you won 2-1 and you got a late goal to win the game. You went 1-0 down with all them players missing and you thumped them in the second half. You come out and said, hey, no, this ain't happening. We're going clear in the league. And I think you've got the easiest run out of the 3. Yeah, I think this makes you favourites. If you weren't favourites before, definitely after this game you're favourites. And to be honest, I can see after this, I can see Liverpool actually doing it.
I think it all comes down to that Liverpool Man City game, man. That's what I'm waiting for. Obviously, Liverpool, even today.
Why doesn't it come out for the Arsenal Man City game?
No, because Liverpool.
You're ruling out your club.
No. The Liverpool Man City game is the first game. Because if Liverpool win that, you're talking about favourites for the league, right? And because that Liverpool Man City game is way before the Man City Arsenal game, I feel like if Liverpool get the win, as I think a lot of us maybe not expects, but they are the favourites because it is Anfield, right? They're going to undoubtedly be the favourites. 100%. You can't say they're not. If they beat Man City and they just keep on going on this run, at that point, they're going to be bona fide favourites. And right now, they've got the slight advantage. And the one thing with Liverpool that the other 2 teams don't have, right? Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool have energy. It doesn't matter who plays. This is the thing. I was looking at their lineup before the game. I saw it quickly and I was like, nah, Liverpool should beat Luton. So I didn't even bother following the game. I was expecting them
Luton
to
were
win.
Fighting, bro. They were fighting.
Yeah. Of course, they're aggressive. They're physical. The physical team.
But that's what teams are going to face now with these teams that are struggling to survive in the Premier League. The teams that are fighting relegation. This is what you're going to face every day.
Yeah.
Every week now.
Exactly, but with Liverpool, as I said, they've got this energy about them. It doesn't matter if it's Elliott playing, doesn't matter if it's Diaz, doesn't matter obviously Jota's is down injured now, Nunes or Salah. You bring in Conor Bradley, this kid. I didn't watch this game obviously, but the last few games I've seen him play,
he was
so
great,
impressed.
Bro. He was
sensational.
Yeah,
he was great. Conor Bradley today, like a right back, a full-on old school right back, overlaps, running back, passing the ball and making the runs, opening angles for the defense. He was like old school right backs, you know what I mean? Like old school right back, you know, but these Bakary Sania style, you know what I mean? Like Cafu style, like, you know what I mean? Like, and
I like
this actually.
Gravenberch was also, I have to give him praise. I just saw it in chat, and I do remember this was one of the games where he started and he performed, and that's the first time in a long time where I didn't see him shy away, and like he was actually in the game, he was involved in the build-up. He looked, he looked well. Listen, Diaz misses.
He got so upset. Diaz was in his way.
The funny thing about Luis Diaz today is that to me it reminds me of Darwin Núñez, right? Like in the first half, he gets those opportunities that are clear cut, and then what's the goal that he scores? Where he looks off a defender, cuts back on his weak foot and scores near post. Like just doing the hardest things that he can do easily and doing all of the easy things that he can do hard. But again, if a player scores and we win by 4-1 and it could have been 6, there's only so much criticism that you can really put out there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Jay here is saying in the first half wasn't bad. We played well but didn't score. Liverpool had chances to go 2-3 up before they scored. Yeah, in the beginning. The second we scored, we upped the tempo a little. Yeah, Liverpool showed us quality today, in my opinion. That's the second team. Dawood, I know you didn't watch the game.
I've just literally just watched the highlights while you guys were speaking in the Liverpool game. What with Liverpool is at Anfield, clinical. They make the amount of chances that they make. I think just quickly going to that Chelsea game at Wembley. I think with that they don't have that Anfield, advantage towards them. So I think Chelsea, especially against the big teams this season, have been really good. They know how to nullify the opposition. The way they hit Man City on the transition, I think is Alisson Salah going to be fit for the final?
No.
Alisson,
no.
But Alisson was never going to play, so I'm going to entertain.
Alisson is not going to play the Man City game most likely.
Well, no. Even if he was fully healthy, Kelleher would starting. This is Kelleher's tournament. That's the way it's always been. Alisson is irrelevant to the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. So I think with Liverpool, I think they just get grinding out results. They haven't really played to their best. I think they haven't really played at that kind of level where you go out and you say, "Oh, I'm going to go watch Liverpool." I think they've just been grinding out results. I think this second half of the season, you can say that, but if you watch Liverpool this season, they haven't really been that good of a watch to watch this season.
We have. Okay, hold on. This is what I'm not going to entertain. In the last 5 league games, we've scored 20 goals. The only team that has held us to less than 2 goals is Arsenal, and it was 1 goal. Every other game we have scored. We scored 3 against Burnley, 4 against Luton, 4 against Brentford, 4 against Chelsea, 4 against Bournemouth. Like that's 20 goals.
Yeah, what did I say about Liverpool? I said Liverpool, when it comes to goals and chances created and actually being clinical in front of goal, they're probably
63 goals.
No, but I'm saying Liverpool have always been clinical. Man City are bare on the eye, but they haven't been clinical. If you look at them, Erling Haaland missed 3 sitters against Chelsea. But
what do you mean? We have the best goal difference, and we have 63 goals.
No,
this
but I'm
season.
talking about goals. Don't really always speak. I mean, when you say we've scored the most goals, they don't really compare with the performances. That's what I'm speaking about. I'm talking about the performances with Liverpool hasn't been great on the eye. And that's not something that that's a dig at Liverpool. But you can talk about goal conceded, goals scored, but you haven't.
City are subjective. I think they're just subjective, to be honest, because like
City aren't
Arsenal,
pretty. Like
in Arsenal, a lot of people would say Arsenal's football is boring, man. Like some people say it's boring set pieces. Some people would say it, and some people would prefer watching the Liverpool, direct, quick energy, get in the box, get in behind kind of football, especially when all the
but just quickly,
it's a different style of play. Just opinions on that one.
Just going back to the Chelsea game, I think Chelsea, for me, going to that game, I think I'd make Chelsea favourites that game at Wembley against Liverpool, just because of how well they've played against the top sides this season, of how they've been able to nullify the opposition and how good they've
We beat
been
them
on the
4-1.
transition.
So
Say that again.
we beat them 4-1.
I know you beating the 4-1, but it's just something about Chelsea. I think people are sleeping on Chelsea. I think people are thinking that this is Liverpool's final. This is Jurgen Klopp's farewell. This is, another cup competition that's going to be ticked off where people make Liverpool favourites. And I think Chelsea, they might shock the world. I think they might do something.
Would you rather Chelsea win or Liverpool win?
For me?
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will win against Liverpool.
Would you rather Chelsea or Liverpool?
Oh, I'd rather have Liverpool win.
Okay.
I want Chelsea to win. I want Chelsea to win. Of course,
really,
Liverpool are fighting for us for the league.
Nah, they can't have that.
Bilal.
Because if
I
we
don't
don't
care
win
if
the
Chelsea
trophy
win,
this season, if we don't win the trophy this season and Chelsea win a trophy, that can't happen. That can't happen.
Let them win this trophy. If Chelsea win it, listen, they might keep Poch longer. It's the same as Man United. They won the League Cup last year. They kept Ten Hag in. It's not going too well compared to what they expected, right? But just for me, the only reason I want Chelsea to win, I think Liverpool are clear favourites.
Because you hate us.
No.
No.
How?
It's not about
Liverpool
hating.
have everybody out. Liverpool have everyone out.
No, Mo.
It's the way they play, bro.
Salah
That's the
is
reason.
50-50.
Salah is back.
Salah is working to be back on Sunday. That's why he was completely out of the squad today. Nunez could potentially be back on Sunday. I believe Szoboszlai is also a possibility. Who's for sure out is Trent, Allison, Diogo Jota, and Curtis Jones. Those are the 100% without a fact. Like they are 100% out. Everyone
Alisson's
else,
the biggest miss out of them.
But Kelleher was going to play anyway.
Exactly. But Kelleher was going to play anyway. So
it doesn't
it's
matter.
Not that big of a deal on paper, in my opinion, especially with the way, as we said, Conor Bradley playing at right back, etc. For me, Liverpool are favourites for this game, but that's why I want Chelsea to win, just so Liverpool have a bad day and it might affect them in the league somehow. I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws.
Yeah, true.
That's the only reason.
The only thing that I'm going to say about the game on Sunday is I don't think that we're just going to go in there waltz and it's going to be like the game at Anfield. But at the same time, I still have confidence that we could win this game. Like to me, it feels very much like a 2-1, and maybe there's a late goal at the end, but in reality, the game itself, when you look at it, it's 2-1. You know what I mean? Like maybe the scoreline's a little bit different because a team
penalties written all over
opens up.
Liverpool Chelsea is always like
I do not think so. I do not think so.
Yeah.
I do not think that this has penalties on it. Especially if Mo and Nunez are back. No shot. There's no shot.
We'll see. Queen Nadra here is saying Mo talk about the handball. For me, it's a handball, not a natural position. I disagree. Lewis Dunk, Liverpool
in natural position.
It is in natural position or natural position.
Yeah. It was 100% in a natural position. It was behind his back.
So you don't think that's a penalty?
No,
the guy was turning 100%.
Absolutely not.
I don't think this was a penalty at all. By the way, I thought it would be like terrible if they call a penalty against them like this, because Lewis Dunk, there's a penalty called against him, and they said they apologized to Brighton about this. So I don't think it was a penalty at all. Listen, people, there's 640 people here, and we aren't even on 300 likes. So hit that like button. Listen, the last point I want to speak on is the chances of Man City finishing second. Quickly. Do you guys still have Man City as favorites to win the league, or do you still think after the last two games they're a little bit behind Liverpool or on Arsenal? Not at all.
I think they're 100% the favorites.
Go ahead, though. Yeah.
I think Man City this season, defensively, they're not as strong as last season. I think last season when they had a fully fit John Stones in the second half of the season, going into midfield, making them more, the defensive structure was a lot harder to get through. I think he gave them that extra option with playing alongside Rodri. I think this season, with the amount of changes Man City make, I don't think Phil Foden is amazing on the right wing. The left wing, Doku, isn't very efficient going forward. I think if you take away the 4 assists he got against Bournemouth, I think he's only got 1 assist this season, and I think a couple of goals. He's not very effective on the left wing, and they just don't look like the same Man City as last season. And I think that pressure of having to win another treble because of how the high standards Man City have on Pep Guardiola. If you see the clip of when Haaland scored against Brentford and how much emotion Pep Guardiola showed, Pep Guardiola looked very agitated. He looked very on edge, especially after the game, hitting at the reporters, saying to them, "I've got a better life than you," and this and that. He looked very agitated. The players looked very, I think the pressure of them having to win another treble might be something that, you know, might be a bit of a disadvantage towards them. And I think with Liverpool and Arsenal, it's something that this is Liverpool's, you know, Jurgen Klopp last season. I think they've got that mentality of we have to do it for Jurgen Klopp. And Arsenal's got that, you know, thing where we're the third favourites to win the league. No one expects us to win the Champions League. I mean, when it comes to rival fans, they don't expect us to win the Champions League. They don't expect us to win the Premier League. And we have that underdog, you know, mentality. And with Man City, it's just about the pressure of having to win a treble. And then that might be a disadvantage towards them.
Yeah. Listen, people, do you want to say, Bilal?
Yeah, with City, quickly, I really think Man City, it's hard to say they're not favourites. It's so hard to bring yourself to say that, right? But I think their season depends on, people kill me maybe, but Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva, I think these two players need to. Grealish, I don't know when he's going to get fit. I think they're saying middle of March, maybe. I'm not sure. But Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish, if these two players are performing at that top level for Man City, then they've got a chance. Because I think with De Bruyne, I don't know if I heard he got injured. I don't know if it's true. If anyone can tell me.
The hamstring has a problem.
So there's a chance De Bruyne doesn't survive, man, till the end of the season, even with this long break they gave him. Foden, for me, yes, he's a good player, he's a great player, but he's not, for me, Mahrez, he's not, you know, Gundogan in terms of that clutch kind of player for Man City. I know he's been great this season, and I'm not saying he's not been good before people come at me, yeah? But with Man City, I really believe they need Grealish and Bernardo, and if these two players come to that top level, then they will become favourites again. But Liverpool and Arsenal have the chance to kill them. That's the truth. Liverpool and Arsenal have it in their hands to kill them. So yeah, it's all to play for, man.
The only tiny thing that I'll say very, very, very quickly is I think that ultimately the problem for City is Julian Alvarez. I think shoehorning him into the midfield and basically you're creating a super tight mess of a bunch of people occupying the same space. If Pep just grows up, benches Julian Alvarez, or figures out a different way to not shoehorn everyone else into the team and actually provide some fluidity, City will start banging goals. But unfortunately, I think that there's something when it comes to not wanting to drop him, then maybe he'll leave. He's trying to balance many things at once. And also, I think John Stones is probably the most important player because City's counterattack defense is horrendous and Rodri's not getting it done. And I think that John Stones is probably the most important player outside of either dropping Julian Alvarez or, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't drop Foden. So drop Julian Alvarez. John Stone steps up. I think that they'll be fine. And they won the treble, so they are favorites. It's just a fact that you won the treble last year.
Big up everybody that has tuned in. Fantastic stream. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Bilal, Dawood, thank you so much. Mike Das, of course, is here. Giuseppe, Saad, Brandon, of course, we're here. So thank you guys for tuning in. That was absolutely great. Great discussion, great argument. We argue with each other. But again, sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. And it's great to have all the opinions of different Arsenal fans, sometimes different Liverpool fans. Turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you're new, because tomorrow is one of the biggest shows. You know, it's Hussam and LB. And you know what the first question is going to be? Are Arsenal winning the Champions League? This is going to be the first question, of course, tomorrow. Stay on the stream. It will take you to Staffy TV when we discuss Arsenal, of course. I want everyone to go to Staffy TV and spam Judge Mo in the chat, spam Judge Mo, or spam Top Red in the chat. Top Red, spam
he's the toppest red.
Top Red, spam Top Red for Staffy. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys soon. We're out.
Top of the league.